The Gauteng Government has refuted allegations that the Nasi program has run out of funds. This comes as some reports suggest some of the recruits have not been paid. According to News 24, more than 300 young people who are employed in the Department of Social Development in the province have not been paid since they began working in February. So let's find out exactly what's going on now and speak to PanyazaLesufi, Gauteng Premier, who joins us live now. Premier, thank you so much for your time this evening. What's going on? Premier, we're struggling to hear you. I'm not sure if you are unmuted.
I was saying thank you so much.
There we go.
Truly appreciate the moment. Please extend our sincere greetings to your viewers.
All right. We were just wondering what exactly is going on here. We're seeing reports that some young people have not been paid. There's even emails that are circulating to that particular effect.
Well, we want to reject that. Unfortunately, it was very late for us to respond to that media inquiry. Reality is that all our programs are budgeted for. They go through a vigorous process in approving them, advertising them, and selecting them. In some of the appointments, I mean, we've got almost close to 90,000 people that have been employed thus far. We're picking up some administrative errors. Either people have been employed by other departments or they're part of other projects and their personal numbers rejected our payment system. But it's an administrative matter that has been attended by our team, and there's no deliberate attempt either by the department not to pay people. I want to emphasize the point that all people that are employed, from our teacher assistants to wardens to whatever appointments, they've been paid every month, and we have issued a statement to prove the payments that have gone through. But obviously, when we deal with this kind of figures and data, there will be those that their details will not correspond with our details. We've assigned a team to attend to those matters.
So is it true that they've not been paid, these particular ones, since February? And there's an email, I'm sure you've seen it, that's also doing the round by a Portia Dube, who says that she's noted the concerns and they have then escalated the matters, but others are saying that they've not been paid since February. So is that true?
As I indicated, for example, you have been employed by another government department. Another department can't pay you until you're formally resigned. If you're receiving a social grant, for example, another government can't pay you until you terminate that grant.
Okay.
If you have been employed for an expanded public works program, another government department can't pay you until you resign from that expanded public works program. Those are administrative glitches. It does not mean the department does not have money to pay. And any person who wants to discredit or delegitimize our work to recruit people is not going to succeed. If there's any person's personal details that need to be sorted out, the best way is to deal with the relevant department rather than try to say that what we're trying to do is we're doing it either for popular stunts or any other thing. We're doing it because we care for people. And there's no single government in the last 20 months have hired so many people like the Gauteng government. There's no single government that have entered the space of unemployment than the provincial government of Gauteng. So we will have people that will not love that. We'll have people that will raise issues for other ulterior motives. But where we stand, we've got the budget, we have the willingness to resolve the problem, and we'll attend to that problem.
Premier, I'm sure you'll agree, though, that if there's an administrative error, it needed to be picked up early on. It can't be picked up in April when people started work in February. So someone in the administrative process possibly dropped the ball here.
I don't want to say yes or no. As I said, in some instances, we try to communicate either through the email provided. It became very difficult. We also try to communicate through the communication channel that have been presented to us. It becomes difficult. And I also don't want to defend officials who might be sloppish in resolving those particular matters. But the point I'm driving in is that there's no project that is not budgeted for. And there's no project that has been placed, publicized, recruited when we don't have the financial means to meet those things. Pardon
me for coming in there. What do you then say to the young people? And I mean, I'm sure you've read that particular article. Some of them are talking about the fact that they've not had food for quite some time now. Others were talking about some of the aspirations that they say they had when they began this work. And now for them to hear that there's an administrative error that has gone on for quite some time, it's of little comfort. So what do you say to them, to some of them who are possibly watching tonight and are hungry?
I've extended my sincere apology to them. I've done that through a statement. I've also summoned the relevant officials of the department to attend to this matter. I had an agent meeting even before the story was publicized because some of the information was sent through some of our channels. I've called the MEC responsible for finance. I've called the MEC responsible for this program. That's the MEC for social development, and the accounting officers to meet with me almost 3 days ago so that they can give me full detail on these matters. And I'm satisfied with the explanation that they've given. And this is the explanation that came from them when I met with them. I didn't wait for the story to break out. This is a matter that was brought to me 72 hours ago, and I attended to it. But I'm trying to emphasize one point. Any illusion that's trying to, or any myth that has been created that we launched this job purely for any other reason rather than empowering young people to get opportunity is wrong. We have the funds, we've got the budget, and every program before it advertised, it goes through a serious, vigorous program to determine its sustainability and whether it will run its full course. And those that have been affected, I want once more apologize to them. The inconvenience, when I read the story, I was also disturbed. And I'm quite convinced that the team that has been assigned to deal with this matter, they're dealing with it and they will resolve it as speedily as possible.
And before I let you go, then we're out of time, but before I let you go, may I please ask you to change hats slightly and be the ANC chairperson in Gauteng. There's a council sitting tomorrow, and the SABC is saying that lead or be in opposition benches. What instruction are you giving to your members who are going into that council sitting tomorrow, and what exactly are you anticipating is also going to happen?
Unfortunately, you pulled me out of a meeting that is dealing with that matter so that I can do this interview. Allow me to go back to that meeting. As soon as we conclude it, we'll be in a position to give you a brief.
All right, we'll get an update then from you. Thank you so much for that. That is the Premier of Gauteng, PanyazaLesufi, saying that this was an administrative error and the program does have money, and saying that some of the Nasi recruits who have not been paid are going to be paid as soon as possible. They're going to be dealing with this matter, but we'll definitely keep tabs on this particular story, as we are seeing that there are some young people who are saying that their hopes have been dashed by what is happening here. But also interesting will be what marching orders are they giving to their members as they're going to the council sitting in Ekurhuleni tomorrow.